Testing. Let's just make sure it's working. Okay, cool. We've got our stream up. Hi everyone. This is going to be a developer let's play of Tower Knight. I just released version 0.8. If you played the game before, you'll see that there's a graphics update, and whether or not you've played the game, I just want to show off what the game is like now. I'll talk a bit about the changes as we play, but I think we can just get started now. All right, this is Tower Knight, a roguelike deck building tower defense game. Here, let's get... yeah, let's start. So first off, there are difficulty settings down. And what it comes down to is there's an easy mode and a hard mode, Squire and Knight. What makes the difference between the modes is that the Squire mode has 1 enemy card in its deck, and the Knight mode has 2 enemy cards. So I'll explain what that is in a bit more in a second. So this is Tower Knight. These are your cards, and when you draw an enemy card, you have to play it. So we could view our deck. These are some of the cards that I start with. And if it's grayed out, that means it's no longer in the draw pile. But you can see this is the enemy card. So as we draw cards, as the deck gets reshuffled and we keep drawing the enemy card, we're going to have to keep adding the enemy to the game. Or to the board, I should say. And from this enemy tower, or the enemies come from this enemy tower. So once we get enemies towers on the board, we got to start working on protecting our knight and capturing this enemy tower. So I'll talk about that in a bit, but let's just start a wave so we can see what a wave looks like. All right. And so at the end of each wave, you'll get an option to pick 1 of 3 cards. You can skip the cards if you want to be a little precise about your deck building, but you need coins to do that. So we can't skip cards now. We're going to have to pick 1. This destroy card can be useful if you want to destroy things, basically trees and ruins. We'll come across that later in the game, but we already start with a destroy card, so I don't want to add that. A platform is good in the later stages because it increases the range of an attack tower. But I like medic because early on, while we're getting our walls up, we need to heal, and when we draw this card, we'll heal 1 HP. So I think that's a good start. Rampart. The rampart is key. This is how you add walls. A rampart connects a wall to any adjacent tower, and you need walls to capture the enemy towers. So if I surround this enemy tower with walls, it'll become captured, and if I capture all of the enemy towers that I've placed, then I win. So this is a shop card. When we draw a shop card, we could spend flag points to purchase things from the shop. Like we could purchase health, energy, coins, and the key to the game is purchasing these rampart cards. So you can see we start the game with the same number, or at least on Squire mode, we start the game with the same number of enemy cards as rampart cards. So it's actually I don't know if it's possible to win when you have the same number of enemy cards and rampart cards, but I know that the more rampart cards we add, the easier the game, or at least the more possible it is to win, the more likely it is you can come up with the setup that captures all of the enemy towers that you've been forced to place. So this is a flag. We could place it anywhere. If we place it on the ground, it's just 1 flag point. If we place it on a rampart, it's 2 flag points. And if we place it on a scout, which we'll come across later, we'll get 3 flag points. Also, there's a little typo here. Shout out to the Discord. I don't know if they want me to name who they were, but somebody in the Discord caught that this is a typo. So that'll be fixed later. So yeah, so now we got 2 flag points, and now we can spend those flag points on something. I'd actually like to not spend it yet, save up and buy ramparts. I'll only buy these resources if I need to, like if I'm in danger or I have to make a quick move. But yeah, for now we can just start the next wave. So I already messed up a little bit, but I think I'll be okay. The enemies take the shortest path to your knight. So you've got to make sure you're in the right spot. You gotta stay aware of what's going on. And so I'll put a cannon here. So another thing to consider is if I put the cannon here, I'm gonna need more ramparts because 2 towers don't connect to each other. They only connect to ramparts. So I think, well, you know, I'll just put it here just to show off some strategies. Here, energy. Energy is actually the rarest card. I mean, if I'll publish the likelihoods as I get closer to release. I just don't know what the final card likelihoods are going to be, but if you're watching this, you get a little hint from me. Energy cards I think are the most important, at least in the early stages. So I can't, these are non-playable cards. They're just automatically applied. I'm a little bit stronger and I have more max energy because I've added them to my deck. So yeah, ideally I'd be able to close off this tower before having to place another one. But, oh, I like the bank cards. Dexterity is good, but early on, it causes you to draw the enemy towers too fast. Basically, add 1 more card to your hand, which could be an enemy tower, and that's not always what you want. So, bank is nice. Well, let's do scout, just so I can show off the scout. Enemy, see, we drew an enemy card. We're going to have to place it now. And now here's where some strategy comes in. I can choose to either group them all together and surround them all at once, but then the amount of walls I need to create, there's just more walls I need to create, so the towers have a longer chance, have more time to build up their waves because it takes longer to capture them. So I'd like to actually separate them for now. We've got a force card. This is actually good. It's not bad to stock up on these because later in the game, we're going to need energy and we could place these as needed, but I think we're okay for now. So let's see if I can survive these waves. Yep, surviving wasn't too hard. We took some damage, but I think we'll be okay. I like to stock up on flags early just so I can get my ramparts. Also, I'm going to speed up the enemy waves. It doesn't make it harder. Changing the game speed doesn't make anything harder. It just runs the simulation faster. So I'd like those coins, but let me make sure I am doing my job and capturing. Okay. Flag. We need 1 more flag point and we could have and we could buy another rampart card. And once we have more rampart cards than enemy cards, then we can seriously start trying to win the game. So this is an interesting choice. A bank. Coins are important. They really help you accelerate your wall building, but I think I'm going to stick with energy on this. Pick up some coins. I don't want to spend any of my flag points yet because I can't get a rampart, but I can place this scout. And scouts are basically cheap towers. They only cost 1 energy to play, and what they do is they help you expand your wall. And they also help you see further out. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. Like, there has to be something more to expansion than just having more land. I think the scout's going to be more important when I figure that out. But right now, it helps you see things further out. So if I draw an enemy tower, I can place it further out. But I think we'll get there later. So I've got a lot of coin and I've got some leftover energy. So let's try to see what I draw. Okay, I could place a flag, get +3 flag points, perfect. And I guess this is not a bad time to play a flag. Okay, we'll call that. So next time we see a shop, we can buy a rampart, which will be huge for us. And hopefully we don't take too much damage. Okay, health is actually pretty useful early on. Just restore my health. Don't want to lose because I got greedy. So okay, so we'll place this rampart. We can place this scout, and this scout won't do anything much right now, but It prepares my wall building. So all I need now are 2 ramparts, and I could close this off. Here, let's start stocking up on energy, and hopefully we get lucky right now. Well, not too bad, but not what I was looking for. But if I play this here and retreat a little bit, then this tower can do some more damage, and hopefully it's enough. Nice. Ooh, strength isn't as rare as energy, but strength is important. Strength can be the difference between that one last life. I think I'll go with energy though, just because I want to get a quick win, if possible. It's not always possible, but here, I'll try to group these together. And in one shot, try to capture everything. Don't know if that will be possible, but I will try it. Okay, we could use this destroy card. Or... Do we want to destroy this? Does that change anything? I don't think we need to destroy anything. I'd rather try to use that energy with the rampart. Shop, perfect. So we can buy... So we bought a rampart and it was just added to the bottom of our deck. So if we check this out now, we see we have a rampart. So in the next time we draw cards, we're going to get for sure this rampart and for sure this energy card. The rest of the cards are going to be reshuffled and added back. So don't know exactly what else we'll get. What I can do, you know what, let's just survive this wave, save my money, save my flag points, try to get more parts later. Also the attack logic, I'll go over that in a moment. Okay, this is interesting. Do we heal up and expand our, like, once this is added to our deck, it doesn't really help us anymore. It gives us full HP when we add it, but it just bloats our deck. So at least I'd rather add this bank card. Make some money when I draw it. Okay. So we will capture this tower and give ourselves some breathing room. Yeah, let's do that. Okay. And we can retreat into this little corner here. The issue is... Actually, no issues yet. Oh, but I was going to talk about attack logic. So this tower... does 2.5 damage and attacks the healthiest enemy in its range. This tower attacks the nearest enemy in its range. So each card can have a different... well, I don't have different attack towers yet, but different attack towers can randomly have different targeting logic, but you see that when you choose the card. So what shall we do here? All right, let's try to survive this wave. The little guys aren't a threat unless they're coming in from different angles, or unless they're coming in from different towers, because then they can overlap each other. And even though they're weak, your tower knight just can't attack 2 people at the same time. So as long as they're spread out, it's never really a concern. So this archer attacks the farthest enemy, which I don't think is the best, but it can be useful. I think I'll go with this platform just to make use of this tower. Okay, so right now the range, you can see, doesn't reach into the front of this tower, but if we put a platform, now the range is huge. So just got some use out of that guy. Put a flag on there. All right, so we've got some flag points, we've got some energy, we've got some coins. Let's start spending. Rampart, perfect. So if I put this rampart here, then the enemy waves will not funnel past this, or they might not. So I'll put them here, and hopefully the enemy waves will pass, or I think we'll be fine. We will be fine. So you could imagine if we played on the night mode and there was one more enemy tower. By now, there'd be 6 enemy towers instead of 3, so the game would be a lot harder. Interesting. Dexterity now might not be a bad time. Just since we have more ramparts than enemy cards, I think it's a good time to start drawing more cards. And we could buy another rampart. And I think we're gonna have, I think we got smooth sailing to victory here. What do I want to do? Here, let's put this in so we get some more attacks on them. Let's get our energy back up. And from the shop, we can... let's get this coin so we could draw more cards. Let's get the safety. You know, so I'm calling it safety, but we're just wedged in between these walls just so both towers can do some damage. Let's see if we draw a rampart now. Okay, so we've got the win in the bag now. So, yeah, I'll place this here, and that will surround all the enemy towers and should give us the win. There we go. That's Tower Knight. I'll be working on quite a bit for the next updates. Now that I've added enemy cards as a system to this game, I think there can be more challenge modes. I'm thinking of a campaign mode in particular. Something like you progress through the lands and an enchanter gives you a bad enemy card that you keep adding to your deck, or at least that you keep adding to your starting deck. So each mode, so like each step in the campaign might introduce more challenging enemies, like flying enemies, dragons, and maybe they'll unlock new types of towers, upgrades for the towers. But before I can do that, I need to make sure I get this core concept right. So if you've been thinking about playing Tower Knight, check it out. Join the Discord. People's feedback really has been helpful. Yeah, just people's feedback has been very helpful. The discussions over here, like somebody found that there was a very rare bug that would cause the game to freeze. And while I was working on 0.8, basically I found out what the bug was, but I didn't even know it existed until I saw this comment. Basically all of these suggestions, like speed increase, that was like, as soon as I hear a suggestion that's really good and really easy to implement, I make the update right away. So if it's harder to implement, then it takes some time just to make sure I get it right. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you all check out Tower Knight. If you do, leave a review. It really goes a long way. So yeah, looking forward to the next update and hearing from all of you. Bye.